welcome to the first edition of TRS Maseru, that rugby show Maseru. My name is Kabelo Mola. I am your co-host. Alongside me are these two pretty gentlemen. On the end there we've got Duncan Nkazi, and to my right here we've got Datebahulu Chimombe. What do you go by?
Yeah, that's who you go by.
That's
how I go by, yes.
But like multiple.
Yes. No, versatile.
Yeah,
versatile.
So this is the most legendary rugby show that you will come across here on the interwebs. And we will be going through the Rugby World Cup, which started last week, Friday. We're a week late, but we'll discuss that another time. For now, gents, let's go through. Let's talk about the first weekend of games. First, what do you guys think of the opening ceremony?
Anyway, for rugby, the opening ceremony should always be underwhelming, so never really disappointed.
How come they don't have a World in Union? They haven't done a World in Union.
I really don't know.
Strange, eh?
It's very strange because that's the anthem, eh?
Yeah. I think everybody should just borrow South Africa's World in Union.
I just knew you were going to say that.
But it's the best one.
It's the best one.
There hasn't been a better one.
There hasn't been a better one,
Honestly.
yes.
2011.
There hasn't been a better one.
NZ.
When they redid it, eh? Yes, I remember when they redid it. Yes, when they redid it, because the other ones didn't have it at all. So but
opening game, France against New Zealand. Duncan, your All Blacks.
I still have not recovered, but pretty interesting. Something that maybe I'm battling with being an All Blacks fan and with how they've been playing. So ended the year well last year, started well. People have started putting them where they're supposed to be and all. Then all of a sudden, they change what they've been doing well. So if I can even refer to the SA game first at Twickenham, whatever they did at Mount Smart was opposite to what they did at Twickenham. You go to the line out, Mount Smart balls were mostly front balls, reacting, trying to just pick where the spaces are. And even in terms of kicking for territory, contestable, being chased. When you go to Twickenham, it's different. Red card happened, there's that. But now come to the World Cup. Start well, intensity, dominating the first half. Okay, there are chances they lost, like Koditela throwing the ball out, when they put France at the pump, but instead of playing on, they took the points. But you look at what they were doing during the first half and second half, it's opposite. So you ask yourself, they were doing this quite well, dominating and being the superstars that we know. Then second half, they come and play something totally different. So I ask myself, is it that they are trying to hide what they are playing, heading into the quarters? Because the game plan they played at Mount Smart, it's something that will work against SA and Ireland if they meet them in the quarters. So for me, I think maybe it's just the hope that I have, and hopefully it doesn't come to mess me up that time. But I think sort of they might be hiding something, because if they are not, then they're in big trouble.
You happy with Ian Foster as a coach?
It's too late. I'm normally in another group in Kenya where we've been talking Fozi out and all. But anyway, his time has come to an end. Let's see what he'll be able to do. Hopefully he shocks us in the right way.
What did you make of that opening game, Ranga?
Look, I think the biggest thing for me was the All Blacks played. Like from the first minute, Ioane got through. The ball to Telia, but they became very predictable because that game you're referring to in Mount Smart was a similar sort of start like they had with France. And Ian Smith's blindside attack was nullified, So I don't know exactly what they would be hiding, if there's anything that they're hiding. For the competition and for rugby as a whole, remember we always use the All Blacks as a benchmark. So you hope that they don't go home early. You want them there because you want And you want the best all the time. And
Even if they beat the box in the quarter.
no. That's not going to happen. But we just hope that at least for the game itself, yes, it's a game of upsets, and there's now a very thin line between tier 1 and tier 2, and also the gap between 1 and 6, even 8. You can even
close,
go. It's very close, because everybody's stepped up, but you worry about what's going to happen, and New Zealand rugby as a whole.
Just last one on New Zealand. Are you guys happy with Bowden at 15 and Moanga at 10?
Yeah, for me that is
logical.
fine, because Moanga has proved himself over and over again. He's the best 10 in New Zealand at the moment.
Yeah.
So for Bodie, even if you have to compare with Super Rugby and how he's playing, it's better when he's back there in terms of if he's to put the balls in space, looking at where to attack.
50-22, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The next game was Italy and Namibia.
You saw the clip of that big guy who was swearing.
Yeah, Vivian.
The guy looked like he'd come from his big steak.
It was a nice one also, especially the first half. But anyway, with all these things, we normally say that you should put it in the lungs and breathe it out, because Namibia was showing that they could play well, and most of these games maybe unlike apart from the Romania game, first halves have been decent games where the scores are not blowing out and all. So played well first half, but second half automatically you get to see that these guys are better conditioned, they are more experienced and all. So points now still come up. So most likely Namibia will end up like the other World Cups, end up without winning a game. That's the likely scenario.
That's become unfortunately.
Yeah, but with that game, there was really nothing much to
take away.
Ireland, Romania. Ireland put 80 on, but I didn't think they looked amazing. I thought they made errors. Yeah.
You see, with Ireland as well, they're very underwhelming, because I think we were discussing it off air just now. That's their best 23, and they're playing against the best 23 again. They're playing in the, So the World Cup, you need your best 33, So I don't know. I just feel like it was that you need to also be tested to win the World Cup, like the Boks were tested last week. So you need to be tested to really grind for the win, not just arrive and get 80 points. I mean, that for me is not a good yardstick for.
Eddie Jones and his Australia against Georgia.
That was also another good game. However, something that was crucial for me in that game is that Georgia ordinarily will dominate scrums, they'll have superb scrums, but it was the other way around. So showing you that actually Australia are onto something. And I still think there'll be a problem in this World Cup, because I think that's the squad that has played most consistently as the same bunch of guys, apart from the injuries and all. Majority of them have just been playing ever since Eddie came. So there's that. So I think there'll be a problem. There'll be a problem.
And I think that tight head Tupou, he's gonna have a good World Cup.
And Korobete
as well.
Is he the best player?
In
World Rugby?
No.
Not in World Rugby. Okay.
No. That's fishing.
What will we be saying about Dupont, and what will we be saying about Aldridge?
I'll come to Dupont.
Van der Fleer, and
I haven't even mentioned Adi.
Yes.
Okay, calm down. The Battle of the Falklands, Argentina and England. I had picked that to be one of my two underdog victories. Argentina were completely underwhelming. What happened?
Yeah, shocking to say the least. But there's something interesting. There's something interesting about England. If you look at the build-up matches, they would appear tired and all struggling. And so maybe my thinking is this: Wales also happened that a few years back. I think they focused a lot on conditioning prior to the World Cup, such that even when these games were being played, they were still under that conditioning program. So legs are heavy and all, because they looked Because for this game,
Yeah,
they looked like the ones who were 15
No, they
and
can,
Argentina were 14.
They
They
can.
played quite well.
Yeah.
Territory,
Drop kicks
the
up
carries,
there,
yeah, they
Yeah,
played
yeah.
well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, no, but that was that's the plan actually.
Yeah.
George Ford is the exit,
Yeah.
and I don't know where Owen's gonna come in because
But tournament rugby is like that. You just need to score one more point than the other
Yes.
team, than the-
I don't know where Owen's gonna come in because you can't drop Manu because you need that presence.
You need that, yeah.
Marchand is playing okay, and I think they're pretty settled with what they have. I think Owen is more like a squad captain.
No, but you think also, but either way, it's the team game plan.
Yeah.
So whoever is there is supposed to be able to execute.
Yeah.
So what happens if he gets an injury? Ford gets an injury.
Yeah.
Whoever is playing there should be able to keep making the points.
Yeah.
Kicking. But I think for them, the territory game, they played it brilliantly.
What was happening with Argentina? Why were they so underwhelming? They looked completely underwhelming.
I think they had a lot of steak, man, or something. Honestly, they didn't arrive.
Yeah.
They did not arrive. They didn't.
underwhelming.
I mean, Matera, the usual
The
Montoya
game
was with the ref the whole time. They were just not there.
They didn't have a plan B.
They
when,
didn't.
when plan A didn't work. So
Yeah.
for me, I think where they fundamentally failed is just playing in the right area of the pitch.
Yeah.
Because they will want to carry from everywhere, but
Everywhere,
if you're
yes.
struggling with that, get the ball down there, start playing
That's
from
actually what
there.
they've always been good at. They do the
Yes.
fundamentals well. They get territory, and then they let their set piece do the work.
Yes, but
That's
this
what
time
it was.
they were very underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming.
Japan and Chile. Chile were the only unbeaten team in the group stages at some point. the Japanese side also, I don't know.
I don't know if to say that the Japanese team is struggling or
Yeah.
Chile played brilliantly,
yeah.
but also Japan build up to the matches. Though this is a tournament, we shouldn't be also quite keen on that. They struggle for part of for lack of a better word, they really struggled, especially the first half. Chile were playing well.
Yeah.
They're putting in the phases. They're kicking well. You know, they're putting the ball in space. Guys picking their lines quite well. Japan will get to the other side of the pitch. Errors will also creep in.
Yeah.
And I think generally also what has been clear in the first round of matches is the heat.
Yeah.
The heat is contributing big
really
time
hot,
to
big time.
Yeah.
the errors.
They even have water breaks now, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Temperatures over 30, guys are sweaty, you can't really hold on to the ball.
yeah.
So errors are really there big time. So I think that's also will be a factor, especially maybe these first 2 weeks before guys adapt. So I think as the tournament goes on, obviously, weather is going to be better as summer is coming to an end that side. So
Yeah, that's good because I think they were having a heat wave.
It's come to
It's come to South Africa, Scotland. That was the big one.
Oh.
Everyone was suddenly hyping Scotland up.
No, Scotland. I mean, look, they had that scrum in the 40th minute
Yeah, the two of them.
where they really, you know. But I think when I looked at the videos or replays, I think a lot of there was that Esteves going off and Erge coming on for Eben. It's sort of the cohesion between Bud Spencer and he was forced to overextend. But I think they really worked them. They worked them. They brought on WP Nel. He had no answers. Viapia. They brought in. Piers Kuman.
Yeah.
They couldn't. It was just.
I think Scotland did well, but their best can never be enough to beat the box. Because I don't think there's not that any other team in the world now that can match the box for 80 minutes. You need to have done something superb in the first half to have them chasing after you for you to have a chance to win that game. Because if you're talking about an 80-minute squad, then it's the box. And
I mean,
rugby is all about the forwards. So if the whole tight five goes, and that's where the work is. Another tight five comes, and two proper back rows. And we're not talking about for them. It's like for like. There's really no difference between the guys on the bench and the guys who come back. So, SA have a decent chance of defending this by injuries and all those things. They have a really decent chance of defending the World Cup because that 80-minute performance. Because now maybe what can hurt them is maybe someone gets injured in the back line and such. But when you're talking about forwards, then unless you do something Like what happened at Mount Smart first half.
Yeah.
So second half they are running.
Yeah.
It's hard. So Scotland could just not come back into that game.
Speaking of the forwards and Alfie Snyman specifically, he's one of my favorite rugby players. I'm waiting for him to kick on and become Victor Matfield. When is that coming? Because he's 27 now.
Look,
so,
he's 27, yes, but those injuries. Remember, he had those that year he had a knee, and then he had something like as soon as he was coming, then he had a shoulder. So he's only played 30 tests.
Yeah.
By now he should be on 50 odd.
Yeah.
By now, and then he's a player who can play 100 tests for the box.
Yeah.
But the injuries, because he's a big man, He's a large fellow. I mean, Victor was also pretty tall, but Victor was lanky.
Yeah.
But this guy is Viking.
Big lad, yeah.
You know, he's
big lad.
big. He's got the presence, and I mean,
even in that game, that offload
to
Bud Spencer.
You know, holding the ball like it's a tennis ball. You know, I mean,
basketball pass.
You know, and that's his game. You know, so that's a lot of. I mean, a lot of workload. You know. And coming from the back end of when he came on the URC, it's a lot of work for him.
Sure.
So I don't know. He's also brittle because he needs to be in cotton wool all the time.
Yeah, he needs to be.
I think he's just unlucky with that run of injuries because he's played quite few games the past 2-3 years. He's played very little rugby.
Very little rugby.
It will take time before he gets to where he's supposed to be. And as you said, even with this World Cup, with the issues with Etzebeth and all, they need to maybe now start wrapping him in cotton wool also.
Yes.
Monday with an outstanding performance with ball in hand. But
You mean that no look?
I saw somebody on Twitter said, that no look is super easy to do. I was like, kicking for goals. We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, what to do.
Yeah, because when it matters, it will come down to
I said tournament rugby is about scoring one more point than the next person, and you can't do that if you don't kick your goals.
Because what's interesting is he's missing kicks when there's no pressure. When there's no pressure, because even with these games, you can see he hasn't been attacked. People haven't, people will always go for the 10s to try and rattle them. He's not really been rattled the games he's played so far. So you ask yourself, what will happen when he's rattled? Then there is pressure. Will he be able to make those kicks? Yeah. But anyway, he's been making them for the Stormers. So
He makes them for the Stormers.
Yeah.
It's so funny. About 2 years ago, when he was with the Bulls, I was like, there's no rugby player here. All of a sudden, there's a very serious Springbok. It's unbelievable. Amazing what a bit of faith.
And Faith can do, He's had to make 3 moves to actually
get his, what I thought would be the game of the weekend, it was actually the game of the weekend ultimately, but it didn't go the way that I predicted. Wales, Fiji.
Oh.
What a game. What a game.
it's the game. It's the game when we're talking about round 1. That was the game.
That was the game. I mean, if you get guys like Botia on the bench, and then you've got Tuisava also on the bench, and you bring them on, and they make an impact.
And you can see.
I mean, I think it's also again about management as well. They should have just managed themselves more because they had chances.
They had lots of chances.
They had chances to play the 3 points, but they were just kept going for
They kept going.
But yes, you want for the crowd. And the crowd was with them.
Tournament rugby
again. Tournament rugby. Manage yourself. Just go for that. With just 3 points or whatever it was. Because even if Radradra caught that ball, remember they were still gonna have to kick to they must get the conversion. So if they just played themselves and managed themselves a bit better. But again, it's experience and let's see what can happen against Australia.
Yeah, for them it's game management. Game management is the biggest problem when looking at Fiji. So when playing at that level, game management is very crucial. Even mentioning that before the last pass to Radradra, that ball did not have to go out. They should have hit, because even Tuisava should have played a short ball to their captain. Yes,
Maka was going to go in and
would have been a try under the post. But even before that, they were very lucky because with 1 minute to go, or is it slightly let's say 1.5, they had the ball in the 22. Instead of playing hands, the scrum half did a box kick. Did a box kick, and they were lucky because Liam Williams kicked straight out. So their game management those the last 10 or so minutes was poor, despite the fact that when they got to the 22, they were also always scoring. So it's their game management in general. So they're playing how Fiji plays, ball goes, there's all that. But
like they're playing touch with us on Sunday.
Yeah. But did you see the tackles?
Yes.
308.
Yeah.
they made, I think, 3 times the number of tackles.
The number of Fiji made. I mean, were all those tackles legal? I mean,
I don't want to go to talk about the ref and all those things because you make your own luck. You make your own luck, so they will have school.
So I was actually just about to say I don't want to talk about Matt Carney, but some of the I mean, what irritated me was the repeated infringement. He was letting the Welsh off, and then the other, as soon as the Fijians, I think they somebody said
they brought the mole down.
They brought the mole, the first one, and then it was already card. No, after being consistent against the All Blacks, he goes.
We'll talk about that also. But no.
So I think that's a wrap of week 1. There's already been stuff that's happened during the week. The Boks have lost maybe their best rugby player at the moment, Malcolm Marx. Thoughts on what impact that'll be?
Bismarck's coming back, eh? That's the only answer, honestly, because
that's a massive loss.
It's a massive loss.
Massive loss.
I have a mate, Brennan Lepidi.
Yeah.
He was first team hooker in my year.
Yes.
He had 1 scrum against Bismarck.
Yes.
And he said he'll never do that again.
Yeah.
So it was
No, absolutely. But he's mad.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is.
He was already a man. We were 18 years old and he was already a man.
Absolutely.
Because there's no like for like when it comes to Marx.
There's no
like for like, so
like
it will be a problem.
So Bongi Manambi is going to fill in the gap. Dion Ferree is supposed to be the backup, and then apparently Marco van Staden will be the backup to the backup.
Apparently he's been throwing in. He's been practicing. He's throwing in.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I would feel if I was Joseph Dweber. You're on the standby list. But now, if you look at the unit, because like it's the same thing. Like somebody would say, I mean, John-Luc Dupree was playing better than Mostert and stuff. But Mostert is in the system.
Yeah.
You see, and the system is what. I mean, if push comes to shove, in a situation where you even have to put Peter Steffito at 5 because he's in the system. That sort of thing.
Because Ross Naber believe in the system.
They believe in the system. So to beat somebody outside, yes, Dweber is in the system, but I won't forgive him for Ellis Park. No, I won't forgive him for Ellis Park.
Kapaopango did the thing.
Exactly.
Why won't those guys do the kamate? Why will they not do kamate?
No, because Kapaopango is the All Blacks hacker. It's not only specifically for the All Blacks.
It doesn't move me here. I want kamate.
You want kamate?
Yeah.
But
Maybe they'll do it today.
But 2015, when we watched the semis together with the All Blacks, that's when they did the Kapaopango, and
any other big news that's come out that I've missed maybe during the week? I don't think anything else. No
Maybe New Zealand are lucky. They now have Blackadder.
Yeah.
They were quite thin on the forward front, especially looking at the locks and back row. So he'll definitely make a difference.
Yeah.
He's really a god. Proper lock.
Old school, old fashioned,
Those of us who played in the Type 5.
that was a hero.
Last night, to wrap up, France and Uruguay.
No, I didn't see that.
I only watched the start, but now I'll have to watch the highlights or something, or when they rerun it.
See how they go. Quick rundown for what's coming up. New Zealand, Namibia. That's this evening.
That's Tiki's cricket score.
Namibia will be walloped.
Samoa, Chile.
Samoa
maybe by 15-20.
Yeah.
Samoa by 15-20. Wales, Portugal. Cricket score.
Pretty much.
40s, 50s.
Yeah.
Ireland, Tonga.
That will be an interesting one.
Very
Also,
interesting
Ireland have put their best squad.
Yes,
if I may say. So, but they win. Maybe it will be 40 something, but Tonga will put in.
We'll put in a bit.
2 tries.
Big hits.
South Africa, Romania.
Nah, because there's no discussion.
Australia, Fiji.
Game of the weekend.
Game of the weekend. But the thing is, can Fiji do it back to back again?
They can.
That's the thing.
And they will.
Can they do it back to back
Do you think
again?
they'll manage the game better now?
Because you see, for them, this is This is do or die.
Yeah.
It's a quarter
Do
final.
or die.
Yeah.
This is do or die.
And I think it's also interesting because they've got a couple of, I mean, there's six Fijians in the Australian, or 6 Fijian heritage in the Australian team.
Side, yeah.
So it's going to be
And the Fiji guys always like dealing with the Fijians.
Fijians
With the Islanders.
It will be a nice one.
And then England, Japan. Do you think Japan will?
Nah.
Japan have been underwhelming. Of late.
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
To be frank, it will take a miracle for them.
Nah, it will be really deep.
Okay. Guys, thank you for hanging out on the first episode of TRS.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for making it happen.
The most legendary rugby show.
Finally making it happen.
Finally making it happen.
You know, yeah.
I'll see you on Sunday
Yes.
for Touch Rugby. We play Touch Rugby every Sunday at 15:30.
What time is Romania and South Africa?
It's a 3.
It's at 3.
3. So we need to
We must figure out.
We'll see how to play around.
play around the time.
Figure out what our lives look like.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this first episode of TRS Maseru, and we'll see you again next week for another preview and review.
Thanks, guys.
Stay legendary. Thank you. Huh?